For the best in metaphysical, spiritual, and holistic programming, you're listening to InnerLightRadio.com, the healing frequency.
Girl, I think you're royalty and you deserve nothing less than my loyalty. You hold me down in return, you get more of me. That's how it feel when you're someone's priority, babe. Now what you gonna do with that? I know you ain't used to that. I'll show you better, babe. I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks.
Goodness. Welcome to Grown Folks Business. I am your hostess with the mostest, Sierra Torres, and I am telling you, I'm here with the beautiful goddess of light and awareness herself, Earlene. Are you with me, my girl?
Good evening.
I'm telling you, I have had a day and you have had, I have had a week, and I'm telling you, in the midst of having my week, and I know you've had a week, congratulations on things going on in the business and everything. I'm excited about that for you. And so, in the midst of what's been going on in my life and in your life, one of the things that I've just been hearing about all week. Now, listen, people, I love grown folks business and I love talking about grown folks business. But the thing that concerns me the most is that when people are talking about other folks' business instead of focusing on their own. So while I was everywhere this week, from the hair salon, the nail salon, the toe salon, everywhere, all I kept hearing about was Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. And I mean, you folks act like you know these people. When I tell you, I mean, they were taking sides and everything was going on. So I said, let me just flip this, because I don't normally talk about celebrity business because it's so boring. I mean, honestly, it's like who's sleeping with who had a baby with who. It's the same thing all the time. They are obsessed with celebrities, and these people just really have messed up lives. And so you all should probably focus your energy elsewhere. But these lives are so salacious and everyone just loves them. So we're going to actually entertain you all tonight and talk about it, but not from the space of name dropping of Robert Kardashian and Blac Chyna, even though they were all in the media. But what I want to know is, does a woman who exposes her privates deserve privacy?
I think so. I mean,
and if a woman who doesn't accept her yoni as a sacred space, should she be expected to be treated less than humane? And so I want to get into that because Earlene, I hear you saying yes. And you know, I'm old school. So we haven't talked about this, people. We never do. We come on the air not really knowing what the other one's going to say because we like it to be authentic. And I'm really old school and kind of set in my ways. And Earlene is really old school in the terms of that. I never know what she gonna come out with and what she gonna say. She one minute she progressive, the next minute she's conservative, then she Republican, then she Democrat. I never know. All I know is that whatever she gives me is gonna make me chuckle and tickle me to my bones. And so I want you to start out tonight because I'm curious about this. Apparently there was some nude photos or something. I don't know because I didn't even Google to see what was going on. But apparently, you know, you want to show your boobies or send pictures to a man, he gets mad and then leaks you all over the internet with your boobies and everything. But apparently you're a woman who does booby leaking and stuff for a living.
Well, you know she was a dancer. You know, like
I don't even know who Blac Chyna is.
Club
That's
dancer, booty dancer. Blac Chyna, I like that. I'm gonna tell you, Blac Chyna. I mean, she famous for being, you know, can I say for doing whole stuff?
Okay.
And so, you know, you got these rich people. And I don't even know why us regular folks even obsess over it, because these are people who have nothing better to do with their time than to promote their foolishness, and we buy it. I mean,
yeah,
you know, she take a picture of her boob, she take a picture of her yoni, and she send it to Rob. Rob get mad, you know, and all washed out. So he want to share it on Twitter and get in trouble and get fined for all this stuff, because they do get in trouble for that. There's a penalty for these celebrities.
It's cyberbullying. Who knew?
But see, they said that it's like some kind of
revenge porn, they called it.
Yeah, revenge porn. I'm like, I didn't even know revenge porn. I'm gonna have to
Me
use
either.
that. But see, I don't send people nude pictures of me. I got to think about that. I don't even send people pictures of me. I am very funny about that, let alone let them be naked. I mean, because you don't know what people do with your pictures once they get a hold of them.
I know what people do with my pictures. Tight elbows all over the
waka,
nation.
Waka,
Waka, waka. Just kidding, people. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, even the other Kardashian sister, Kim. I mean, whoever knew that giving bad head could make you famous? I mean, good grief.
How you know it was bad?
I did see clips of it, and I thought, well, how did she get famous off of this? This is pretty terrible.
You know when people say they just saw a clip, that mean they watched the whole thing.
Well, no, I saw the clips of it when it came out years ago, and I want to say that the video was just clips. Like 1 minute she was doing that, the next minute they were shopping. I didn't understand it, but it was terrible.
They got famous off of that too.
Yes, and I didn't understand it. I mean, I was just like, so apparently being terrible at oral sex makes you rich and famous. Who knew? And then you had the little Hilton girl that her granddaddy wrote her out the will because she was giving also very bad head on film. And from that dude, what's his name, Solomon or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, brother was packing though. I was like, okay, white man, get it. And she was little old thing, and she couldn't even handle that grown folks business. But the thing is, her grandfather wrote her out the will. The girl was already a gazillionaire. Who cared? Like, granddad was like, how dare you embarrass me not knowing how to do that properly? I cut you out of the will. And so she gets written out of the will. She gets a little bit of shame about it, but these videos, they were like professionally done. All of this leaked sex tape, and this stuff isn't leaked. This stuff is, in my opinion, it is just a ruse. It's a way for people, just a way for people to jump all into your grown folks business and give you more sales, give you more. It was like the Mimi chick saying that the boy stole the tape or something, and then they sold out of shower curtain rods at Lowe's and Home Depot, heavy duty shower curtain rods. They sold out of them in 24 hours. Like, these people are getting rich off of you not even knowing how to enjoy your own life. Like, if you didn't know how to have sex in the shower until Mimi taught you, come on. So my thing is, if you're not living with your sexuality being sacred, and if you have any questions or comments, you can call in at 310-928-7733. I would love to hear what you all are thinking about, because I'm really getting tired of you all texting me and calling me and inboxing me after the show. Call in. That's what we're here for. Nobody knows your name. Nobody can see you, and I'm not going to call you out. But we want to know what you all are thinking about this, because, I mean, they were going in at the hair salon about Rob, and he should have known because he's overweight. He should have known that she didn't want him. And I just thought the whole thing was nasty because her child's father was dating the sister.
Well, I gotta be honest. I think she did want Rob. I mean,
but I don't think she wanted him for the right reason. I think she wanted to get back at her child's father. He was dating the sister, and now she's dating the brother. It was all kind of nasty to me.
Well, I just got to be honest with you. I mean, any kind of way that she can keep that money pumping, and keep her booty pumped up and everything else pumped up. Hey, sometimes you got to get with your Kardashian. Rob called me.
Yeah, because I'm actually looking for Rob's publicist now to see if I can give him some healing, and because I heard Bucky spent $100,000 on her body, and I was like, what body did she get? Where they sell that at? Who?
Well, Rob, I need a tummy tuck. I need this in my life. I need to. Have this tightened up.
I mean, they say Rob went all in, and she just returned a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, and I thought that the days of selling coochie was over, but apparently Black China has brought back the life. Do you hear me? I mean, she is giving life to, would you call it hoeing? I mean, that's the oldest business on the planet.
I'm from Tennessee, and hoeing ain't never died in Tennessee. Neither is pimping,
Well, I'm from the East Coast where they talk more about pimping, and they never really teach you about hoeing. But I'm saying in the aspects of hoeing, she hoeing good. She had Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and a bunch of jewelry that she returned to him. And, I thought that was pretty cool.
She returned it.
She returned it. And, and I thought that kind of said, because she said, quote, and end quote, she said, I was Black China before there was a Rob Kardashian. So apparently she has a little bit of coin in the purse. And And so she was like, you can have your Ferrari, your Lamborghini, and your stuff back. And then apparently some other guy that she was messing with, the side piece they claim, thought that he was going to also post some pictures. And she let him know, I'll be suing you too. But my thing is, ladies, you know, we may not ever get our pictures up on the internet. Nobody may ever want to show our professionally pumped booty on Instagram because so many of us are doing it ourselves. But do you really feel like when you show your privates for a living that you deserve privacy? I thought what the attorney said was a bit peculiar because the attorney said, you know, yes, I get it. I understand. She said Blac Chyna can show whatever Blac Chyna wants to show, and I do get that. But when she gives you a picture in confidence and then you put it on, you know, and I kind of felt like she was more saying, Blac Chyna can show anything she wants to show as long as she's getting paid. But when you take away her right to get paid, she's going to sue you.
That is true.
That's
that is
kind of
very
what it sounded
true.
like.
You know, and I know everybody under the impression that these people are like super feuding, but I mean, just me feeling in her energy, she gonna forgive him. He already been forgiven. Okay. That's what people don't know. And like, even though they're separated from each other, this woman is actually sad. I mean, they looking at Rob like he, you know what I'm saying, just some fat, disgusting dude. I mean, who's to say that Rob don't put it down? You know, little hunch. We don't know what Rob doing with her. You know, because she pretty much can have anybody that she want, but she's with Rob Kardashian. I mean, clearly, you know, and Rob ain't even got as much money as some people.
Right.
Okay. So I'm just feeling her energy. She had feelings for this man. She still has feelings for him, and she misses him. You know,
she said that there was no chance for reconciliation. You know, she said after talking with him, she wasn't going to sue him, but after talking with him, she realized that he didn't respect her. So she told him, you will respect the law, though. I thought that was a really pretty good sister girl movement. I don't think that she's a dumb girl at all. Just from the things that I've read, I don't know her. This young lady gets $12,000 just for showing up. I mean, dang, I've been lots of places and I ain't even got $1 for showing up. What is going on with this life? She gets $12,000.
Gotta get on that.
And apparently her break came when she was actually cast with Tyga in the video Rack City. And next thing you knew, she was went from an internet model to a celebrity. And so I get, you know, these young girls, I'm not mad about it. You know, but you know, I just feel like after you use your body for all of these types of things, then what's left? But it seems like these celebrity men or, you know, this celebrities, whatever, don't have a problem with passing around the same yoni.
Well, see, the thing is, you know, the wealthy has to stay involved with the wealthy. If you're wealthy, you want to marry wealthy. You know, that goes back to, you know, energy. Like you said, if you sleep with somebody that's in poverty and they're rooted in poverty, then you'll be in poverty because they're going to take you down through there, financially. So people that are wealthy try to marry and, you know, have relationships or relationship with, wealth. And like Chyna, you know, Rob, you know, and I gotta be honest with you, Rob don't want to be with her. Rob is on some more stuff. I mean, Chyna actually got her heart in the right place in this situation, because if me, I would be going ham, because he really didn't even have to share the stuff, you know, even put her out there like that. But he being devious and he is being evil because he cannot control her.
Yeah, that's the thing when a man wants to control you, that's the thing. And I think a lot of brothers, you know, I was talking the other day about the communication with the sexes, and it's just a really disparaging communication gap between the man and the woman. It's like I was talking with the gentleman today as I was preparing for Grown Folks Business, and I said to him, you know, you all are so visual and you're looking to just have some sex. You don't feel like using your hand tonight. And so, oh, girl is sitting beside you. And in that little bubble above your head, it says, I'm finna hit this. I said, but in her bubble, it's saying stuff like, oh, I can't wait till we get married, have a car, have a house, and 2.5 kids. And it's like, there's no conversation about those two bubbles. And the next thing you know, you get in the bed together and you separate when it's over. She leaves still thinking she's going to get the house, car, the kids. And he's like on to the next one. And then she's wigging out because she didn't get a phone call and things like that. And here's the thing, ladies, your sexual wellness is your responsibility. I'm a sexual wellness coach. And the thing is, unfortunately, we have placed our sexual wellness in the mindset of men, not in the hands of men, but in the mindset of men. So the minute a woman tries to become confident, she's a hoe. The minute she tries to, sexually select her primal partner, the partner that can satisfy her the most. And it may take her a couple times to get to the right one because it's mating season. She's called all types of names. And the next thing you know, she settles herself down because she doesn't want to go through the ridicule of not just the men, but also her own friends. And the next thing you know, she's living that boring life with that little companion in the nightstand. And so I was looking today at the sales of vibrators and how far up they are, and talking with different men and hearing them say like, well, I'm tired. I don't really want sex that much. Every now and then it's okay. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on the planet that men aren't even really desiring to please their mate?
It's called, some people are just, they just want those lazy orgasms, those lazy happy afters. And some people just don't even want to put up with being in a relationship with anybody right now. It's terrible, but it's true. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, male and female, homosexual, lesbian, whatever. And some people just would rather masturbate and go to sleep.
Oh, glory to God. I can't.
The actual act of sex is just too overwhelming for some people. And then for most people, they're out here working so hard trying to survive and pay bills that they just don't feel like it.
Oh, gosh. I mean, there's nothing, the thing about it is people are out here working and they're paying bills, yes, bills that they create, trying to stunt on social media. It's kind of like I'm really a fan of just bringing back authenticity. Authenticity has left the planet, it seems like, and people are so into just getting likes and followers. And I mean, I was listening to this program today and this guy was saying, it's just to get people's attention is such a blessing. And I've never cared about things like that. But I noticed even on our show when I posted about Rob and Black China, and I just said RK and BC because I don't want nobody suing me for using their name. So I just put RK and BC. And the next thing you know, I had more likes than I've ever had for my regular topics on sexual wellness. But the sexuality or the sensuality or the lack thereof of someone who you think's famous is exciting and important to other people. On Instagram, there were so many likes, and I was thinking, wow,
rich
people
sex.
really
They
are
are obsessed with rich sex.
And
Just to let everybody know, it's regular ass sex. I mean, it ain't nothing that interesting about it. I mean, how many more actual golden licks would it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll?
Right.
I mean, the same amount.
1, 2, 3. It takes 3. Right. I mean, that same owl talking about 3. So, but here's the thing. Like, I was looking at all of the compliments and the pictures over Kevin Hart's wife's pregnancy. And I'm thinking, so what? Toray, whatever his first wife's name is, was pregnant twice. Now this new chick, because she, no longer his mistress for 5 years and now his wife, they just celebrating her being pregnant like he don't have 2 other kids. And I'm thinking to myself, what is really wrong with people?
I think people live through the celebrities. They look at their lives as being perfect and they live through them. I mean, that's like I tell people all the time. People look at me and they probably think that I'm some kind of good millionaire around here. I am not. I live like a cheap bastard. You will never know my life. You can't lust my life. Don't lust anything I have because it's not like you think it is. Now, I do got a lot of clothes and shoes. I can dress the part. I can look the part. I can travel a little bit, whenever I get ready. But let me tell you something. Rich people have the same kind of sex that you do. They have the same kind of lives. They eat the same kind of food. Minus somebody might cook their stuff a little better, but or a little different. It's the same.
Right. I
don't
mean,
get
and
the
who wants to eat
fixation.
caviar every night? I don't. The stuff is nasty. And I've tried some of the rich people's food, and it's terrible. I mean, like, they just eating stuff, foie gras, duck fat, and all that. Listen, stop it. It's like, tonight we'll be having duck bottom. Oh, what is that? The bottom of a duck. It's like, wait a minute. You eating duck butt? Duck bottom. Like they just come up with these names. And the next thing you know, everybody's running around to like, yo, you eat that duck bottom? Yeah, it's the behind. It's the buttocks of a duck. No, I didn't eat it. And so it seems like these people are running regular society's mindset where they have people in a trance almost. It's terrible. I mean, you got people setting themselves on fire on YouTube, and you got people eating cinnamon and dying. You got people, I mean, now they're talking about a blue whale challenge. I'm just trying to figure out where we're headed because you got people that don't want to make love. I mean, you don't want to make love.
The internet, I'm telling you, people really, if it was not for the reality shows, no one would be paying for cable because they're on Facebook. And just so people know, Facebook is coming up with their own network. Okay, you don't even have to put your phone, you're not going to have to put your phone down probably next year to even watch a show because Facebook is having its own network and channels and TV and stuff. So you can watch TV on Facebook. It's frightening. Okay, when you got people looking on YouTube and Instagram, and this stuff is allowed. You're allowed to watch people get murdered.
Yeah,
somebody sent me
on Facebook. Sent me a video on Facebook the other day of a woman being murdered, and I thought to myself, why would you think that I want to see that? And then another person sent me a woman violently beating a man's penis because he was unable to get erect, and I thought to myself, they wrote to me very funny. And, as a sexual wellness coach, no, there was nothing funny. And I wrote them back and I said, I'm sorry, this is sad, not funny. And then they wrote to me, very funny, exclamation point. And, the man was trying to have intercourse with what appeared to be, I can't say she was, but appeared to be a prostitute because they were in a dirty back alley somewhere and it looked like the Dominican Republic. And she was trying to stretch the condom and put it over him, and he was flaccid. And so she began to beat his lingam. And, someone was actually filming this, and she smacked it and beat it, and she pulled the condom apart, and she tried to put it on, and she couldn't, and she beat it. And she had her drawers on the ground. Her dress was pulled all the way up. And I thought to myself, now, wait a minute. This is a private moment, and it's being put all over the internet. Why? Because she has her yoni in public. And so when I ask, does a woman who shows her yoni and she doesn't care about it, that it is private, does she deserve privacy? And I'm telling you, Early, I'm having a hard time with saying that she does deserve privacy because in this day and age when you can be filmed just because you're having a moment or you're angry and somebody is filming you to put you on World Star Hip Hop or whatever else, this woman was trying to have sex. I don't know if she was a prostitute. I don't know because the way she was beating on him, it was like, what?
Now, World Star Hip Hop, oh my gosh, the stuff that come on there. Some of these people actually film this stuff and put it out there for the likes, for the attention, and people watch it. People actually watch this stuff, and some of them are aroused and entertained by it. Some of it is plain disgusting.
And it was sad, and this young man, he could not get erect, and she slapped it.
He would never get erect again after her beating it,
Yeah, she beat it, she shook it. She grabbed it with her hand, and she was moving back and forth. It looked like she should have had muscles. It looked like she should have had muscles the way she was going at it. And poor guy, he was just still as flaccid as the day is long, and he wasn't old. It was pretty sad. And he might
have fainted.
You listen, all I can tell you is that somebody else was there filming it. And I thought to myself, who would be filming your private intercourse for public viewing? I mean, and it was there, and they were literally, I mean, it was really sad. It has now been removed from Facebook, but I thought to myself, why would I know I'm a sexual wellness coach, but this isn't any wellness, and why would somebody send me this? But some of my fans and some of our listeners, they just think to send me things about sex. I don't really know why, because they're not sending me healthy things. I'm a sexual wellness coach.
Well, I guess they're looking for an explanation from you. They want you to tell them why she was choking his chicken.
Well, what they wanted to know was why I didn't think it was funny. And, I don't think that a woman with her private areas out and a young man with his lingam exposed and all of that in the filthy ruins and rubble of the streets is anything. You're taking a very sacred act and you're making it something that's just meaningless. And I think this is the reason why we're in the state that we're in, because now you don't need to have sex with me. You can just go on Instagram and look at Blac Chyna's butt and do all that you want to do. You can go on Facebook and look at, Shaquita down the street's boobs and do what you want to do. And so it doesn't seem like sexuality or sensuality is really a priority, because it's kind of everywhere. It's everywhere. And so what you can do is really see that you don't need to have a private moment. People are doing it in the back of clubs, in the back of cars. We have a caller that says, "Hi, ladies. Let me offer this perspective as to why more and more people are forgoing regular amounts of sex. Most women in America have a tremendous ego, and it's turned more and more men off. Men then choose to have sex with the women, but not interested in making love to them. Too much head energy and mouth. And many of these women are bisexual too." Okay, caller, I appreciate that perspective. But I'm seeing more and more men having sex with men. So
I'm telling you.
So with that one, that is one perspective, but I'm seeing a lot of men running around in dresses, earrings with beards and high heel shoes on, and I'm confused. Men have never really had a problem with women being bisexual. It's actually something over the years that men have enjoyed for some reason. I don't know why, but they have enjoyed it. And now I hear a lot of men complaining about women being bisexual. And so that is definitely something I would want to talk about. But when I do ask, bisexual and homosexual guests to come on, they always say yes, and then at the last minute they refrain. And so the thing is this: there's no judgment about what you're doing. I really want to understand why the sacred act of lovemaking, the sacred act of sexual intercourse, has turned into, just random acts of God knows what. 3 pumps and I'm done. And a woman is like, okay, and I think it goes back to what I said earlier about women really being in male energy, using their sight. Men are visual. Men look at breasts and they look at butts and they look at thighs and the ratio for the hip to waist ratio, and they're like, yeah, boy, I tear that up. I hear men saying, and now I hear women saying, look at them bow legs, look at that butt, ooh, I tear that up. And I'm like, huh?
Wait, look at that on who?
On men. Like, I hear women saying things about men like men say about women, and I'm just like, oh, that's really peculiar.
Okay, I'm the kind of person, I do like male dancers, but I look at it as art. I mean, I can't say that I would even sleep with a person that look like that, because they thighs are too big and
sexual too.
Just too big.
A lot of
Ugh.
them are homosexual, and a lot of that whole energy. I mean, I don't even know if I can see it as art. When I see them move their bodies certain ways, it's a real turnoff for me. Any man that I see hip rolling, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not
I
attracted.
like it. I like it. I mean, men are allowed to dance. I mean,
I
men
don't
are
see
allowed
it as
to dance.
dancing. I mean, when
And
I see
all
a
of them
man
are not
hip rolling, I just
homosexual.
get sick. I said the
I mean,
majority, a lot of them.
yeah, I don't believe all men are gay, but I do believe that a high percentage of them are.
Right.
You
I
know,
mean,
they,
when I was a dancer, I can just tell you, yes, people, I will spill that tea. I used to be a dancer. And when I was a dancer, a lot of the male dancers were homosexual. Undercover, a lot of women didn't know that. They would sleep with women only for money. And women paid it. But, it was just kind of weird, because there was this song that used to come on, and a lot of the male dancers on the East Coast would dance, and it was called The Percolator. And every time I saw it, the percolator, I would just get sick to my stomach, because when I saw these men dancing in that manner, I just wanted to put crowns on their head and watch them twirl around. And it was really just confusing to me because I didn't see how a woman found that masculine or attractive. But I do realize that some women do. So if you like it, I love it. I won't complain. It's not really something that I am into. Men are allowed to dance, but bring back the Temptations dance to me. That sexy two-step, when I see all that gyrating and body rolling, it make me a little sick to my stomach.
I mean, I can't say that, I would date a person that look like that, but I do enjoy seeing them dance. And I will throw them little dollars. I guess they trick it if you got it. And
Terry Crews is I like when he does his little movements with his
robot. Yeah.
Yes, and his chest. It's hilarious to me. And it doesn't seem like he's being sexy as more as he's being hilarious. It's comedy to me.
He is comical.
Yes, it's comical, and that would make me laugh. But I think if I saw, Terry Crews body rolling and glistening with baby oil, I would become ill. It would just make me sick to my stomach. When I see a man jump down into a push-up and start wiggling his head all around, I just get sick. I won't give you 5 pennies. I mean, I won't give you $1. It's just, I just don't find it very masculine. And maybe I need to come to a show with you early so I can get my mind changed.
You know what? It's just, what I'm saying? My thing is certain, people dancing, not just anybody, certain people, because I'm picky. I mean, don't walk out trying to do no dance for me, and I look down and you got hammer time on your feet or something. It's
you
bad.
Really looking at a dancer's toes?
Yeah. Yes.
And so, do you think that
if your toes not the same length, we got a problem?
The
proper length.
Okay, well, I'm proper length, but they ain't the same length. I'm like, if somebody got 10 toes and they all the same size, I'm gonna have a fit. I'll be like, what's wrong with you?
Everything with your toes.
Yes, but like toes look like hands. But do you think that women are creating a double standard by 1 minute showing their breasts and the next minute crying because someone else showed it?
Well, I feel like if, like my dad told me, don't do anything that you're ashamed of. Don't do anything that you would be ashamed of somebody seeing or finding out.
I wish your dad had been my dad.
And so I live my life by that. I live my life by it because if you give a man a nude picture of you, where is it going? What is he going to do with it? Who is he showing? And so
someone has a ton of pictures of my breast because when my husband was in Iraq in 2005, he convinced me to send him nude photos because he missed me so much and he was so lonely. And so I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I was minister at the time. I was devastated. I was like, I don't want to do it, but I felt like, he's asking me, and so I need to do it. So I took all of these pictures. Yes, I took all these pictures, but I didn't take any of my yoni, but I took all these pictures. They were really gorgeous, and they were of my breast and, different, my nipple actually, and so he gets the box and he's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm like, okay, well, what did you think about the pictures? And he was like, what? And I was like, oh, promise me that you're not playing with me. Like the pictures, someone had stolen the pictures out of the military box. And so whoever you are looking at my breasts, the pictures were gorgeous, but I was devastated. And at that point I was like, I'm never sending any pictures. But what I do now is just make sure that my head is not in there. So whatever you want a picture of, that's all you get in a picture of. You get a picture of a nipple, or you get a picture of just the yoni, and you don't know who it belongs to. Because
they would not be getting a picture of anything.
Because, but I mean, I think that you should only send pictures when your stuff is attractive. And these women have paid a lot of money for their stuff to be attractive. Like I said, I looked at Amber Rose's yoni. She had a beautiful yoni. I don't know why women were just acting so vicious. And I was saying to myself, my yoni is just as beautiful as that if it wasn't laying between these thighs. These thighs don't look like those thighs. And so but her yoni was gorgeous. Her thighs were gorgeous. Her body was gorgeous. And I don't know if she's had any cosmetic surgeries, and I really don't care. I just know that she looked beautiful, and women were really vicious.
I think it makes them uncomfortable to look at a woman and just know that men are lusting them. It makes women uncomfortable. But see, that ladies, that's when you double the efforts to make yourself attractive. I mean, if you look at another woman and it upsets you or it makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to ask yourself, why do you feel that way?
I think a lot of it has to do with body consciousness, and also with their energy as far as being able to retain relationship. I find women to be stunning. I mean, beautiful, attractive. Not all of y'all. Some of y'all, but the most women, I can find something about them that I love. I mean, even if it's the fullness of their lips or the pout in their mouth, or, I don't want to have sex with you, but I find what I am to be the most beautiful aspect of God's creation. I just love being a woman. I love being feminine. I love to get in the mirror and just look at the side of my body, and to look at my face, and to look at my breasts, and I'm just like, gosh, I love being a woman. And I really do. And I think that other women are equally as beautiful, and I love to compliment women. And I notice that they have a hard time even being complimented by a woman.
Well, see, one of the things that I realized, I went into several clubs while I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And I done up a little bit, but I was casual. When I came in, it made the women that were already there feel uncomfortable. I was not wanted in these places. I didn't even do anything. Anybody, hello, how are you doing? Excuse me, sister. Let me sit down. We went to go see a Bob Marley tribute. My sisters didn't want me in there. Okay, wow. They wanted me to get out. They were not nice. They were not inviting, and they were not acting very sisterly.
Wow.
So it was something about me that made them feel uncomfortable. I felt like they looked just as attractive as I did. I didn't even arrive with a man. They had men there with them. I was by myself. And they were still angry that I came in.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I don't know what that's about. I've never been jealous of women. But what are... do people recognize that men are going to like who they like? It has nothing to do with how attractive you are. I know a guy, and he specifically likes unattractive women, specifically.
Well, somebody got to love him.
Exactly. That's
I mean,
his
what
forte.
we may see as unattractive, it's somebody out there that just bask in the ambience of it.
Right.
What are you
Yeah,
laughing
I mean, because I'm just thinking about how he basked in the.
Oh, you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I started thinking about like, yes, this brother basked in it. I mean, and I dated a guy one time, and his mother was crazy about me, and then she said to me, when she finally met me in person, she says, "Oh my God." I said, "What is it?" She said, "Oh God, I wish you were going to be my daughter-in-law, but sadly, I know you won't be." And I was like, "What? I thought you loved me. Like, what's going on?" She said, "Yeah, baby, because you don't chase cars." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "My son only likes women that are so ugly they chase cars, the ones that look like dogs." And I thought to myself, my goodness. And she said he ain't never going to marry you. And he didn't. I mean, he went on to have 4 very ugly wives. And,
he have like 5 very ugly children.
His children are actually quite funny looking to me. They on the cusp of ugly. It's like they just missed it. They a little bit funny looking. And so I just thought to myself, wow, but you're right. Somebody does have to love them. But I've learned over the years that it's just not all about looks, And so women, I believe, have to work on their attributes and what they have to represent their femininity. Because as I talk to men, just like my previous caller that's on the board, Mr. G, most men are saying the same things, that women, well, he used the term ego, and that it's turning men off. But a lot of men are really desiring to see femininity.
Oh, well, I guess I ain't going to have no man then, because I'm
You
not
are
submissive.
feminine. You are feminine. Cut it out. And I mean, just because a woman is a little more independent, I'm not. Earlene is like, listen, I'm not. I want the car door open for me. I want
open for me too, but I want all the money. I want theirs, man.
Right, that too.
Possibly somebody else. They don't have enough.
I want a man to really take care of me like I'm a princess, like the goddess that I am, because I'm old school in that manner. I don't feel like I should contribute certain things to a man's life that I find as masculine behavior. Like women, as we said before on a previous show, women that are taking care of men, I don't understand that aspect. I will never be that woman. Any man that's with me understands and recognizes the goddess that I am and why I require to be treated a certain way. It's a requirement. And listen, you don't have to do it. That's perfectly fine. But I can't be with you. That's not going to happen. I like the aspects of masculinity and femininity to look a certain way, which is probably more of the 1950 way, but with like 1980s sex. Meaning, I'm a very sensual and sexual woman, so I don't want 1950s 2 separate beds, Lucy and Desi. I want to be in the bed, and I want the feeling and the touching and the loving, but I do not want I'm not hollering independent. That's not what I'm hollering, because that's not my intention. My intention is to be coupled in a relationship the way that I view relationship, which is the male being the provider in a certain way and the woman being a provider in a certain way. And so I make sure that men know that off the top. Any man that's telling me what he's not going to do, that's not a man that I'm going to go out with. I'm not even going to play the games. I don't want to. I was talking with a gentleman the other day, and he said, well, some women just go out to get a free meal. No, you got to be in a desperate place to give your time to a man that isn't going to meet your needs. To me, that is a woman with a low self-worth, I'm not going to entertain you. Yeah, she could be hungry. She could be hungry, but I'm not going to give you 1 hour of my time for a free meal if you're not going to be able to meet the need. I've gotten to the age where I'm not interested in casuality with men. I want men to be men. That's what I look for in men, is for what I believe a man is. And I don't try to bring my concepts down into a different construct, because there are still really good men out here. And a lot of women have them, and they not worth a nickel worth of nothing. And these men are almost like cuckolds with these women. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. You eat Burger King every night. This woman can't even cook a meal. She had every happy hour, Monday through Sunday. She doing what she want to do. You got your kids. What in the world is going on?
Apparently, that's what they like.
That's what it seems. And, you know, my grandmother used to say, you can't make them think that you love them or they'll treat you bad. And I used to be like, what? You know, but I've noticed that women that kind of are a little bit rough on their man, those men are like strung out. And women who seem to really honor, love, and cherish their men, those men kind of show off a little bit. Because this woman got 2 kids by, I wouldn't call Tiger, whatever his name is, and Rob Kardashian. I wouldn't really call them celebrities, but she got 2 children by 2 men that are very well known. I talked with a football player the other day, and he's got a baby with a woman that has a baby by another football player and a basketball player. And so she's got 3 children by famous men getting 3 huge child support checks. And first of all, I was furious that my uterus doesn't work like that. Like, she only ovulate for rich men. Like, wait a minute. Let me turn on my eggs. And then the fact that he's the 3rd child's father. So I asked, like, what is that about? And he said kind of what you said. He said, well, we just like to get with women that know the game. And I was like, well, the game of football? He was like, no, they just know what it is about having money and how to conduct yourself and where to go. And I'm thinking, like, but these women seem to be really fertile. You know what I mean? They seem to be really, I mean, she has 3 children, 2 by football players, 1 by a basketball player. And I just couldn't see how he didn't think that running up in her was a little bit nasty, but he didn't.
Well,
and he's
I mean,
also,
would it be nasty? Would it be nasty if they were common people?
I just think that women that use their bodies to just have babies by men of wealth, I mean, yeah, they're smart, but I just don't see how the next man doesn't see it coming.
No, because the way that the body works, I mean, there are people that are together for years and they never have a child together. But as soon as they get with somebody else, they'll have a million like rabbits.
My aunt was one of those people.
So I think she just so happened to have a lucky yoni.
I mean, her uterus is $1 million uterus. But you know, sadly, these women if they know the game so much, sadly, they never seem to save money or do anything wise for their children, which is really offensive. Like, you're getting, you know, $30,000 a month in child support. How do you not have any savings? You know, my God,
the lifestyle.
These men. Exactly, the
you gotta
lifestyle.
pay for these houses. You have to pay for these Lamborghinis, these monster celebrity parties and children parties and tigers and bears and giraffes and stuff. I mean, you have to pay for that stuff.
And that's the thing. Like, when are we going to stop? When are we just going to bring back love? That's what's missing. You know, I sound like Michael Jackson right now, but I sound like Diana Ross. What the world needs now is love.
Now sidebar, Sierra, have you, and I know this is totally off subject, we're going to have to talk about Jay-Z's new video too.
I don't watch TV, so I don't know what it is.
No, the story of OJ.
Okay, so then we'll talk about that because I don't know anything about it. I just kept seeing that everyone was talking about an album. And I guess because this is grown folks' business, I should know what's going on. But I just don't pay attention to celebrities because I don't really care. These people do not move me in any way, shape, or form to change who I am. I'm not looking to be who they are. And so it's a little bit hard for me, but I'm going to step out on faith and really start to pay more attention. Earlene, you're going to have to school me because I'm
paying attention to it. You know, I see the stuff just like you do.
But you know what it is. You actually know what it is. I didn't even know. It's called The Story of Bojangles?
No, The Story of OJ.
Oh, like OJ Simpson? Or
yes.
Okay. Is it about OJ Simpson?
He mentions him in the song, but it's not about him.
Okay. So then I'm going to take a look at that.
I'll let you watch it, and then you can get back to me.
I know there's probably a ton of symbolism in it, right?
It's symbolism in it, but not the symbolism that you're expecting.
Oh, okay. So this should be interesting. And so, yes, we will have a conversation about that as soon as I figure out what it is. Next week, we're going to be talking about financial wellness. I know this is so off topic for what I do, but my show is about money, sex, love, and power. And even though I prefer to just talk about sex, it's sort of going downhill in America. I'm gonna have to get me some overseas guests to talk about it, because what's happening now, it seems like the smash and grab. It's like when you see guys run into the jewelry store and hold the gun up and smash all the cases and run out. This is the time. I mean, when I actually see people talking about liking Instagram while they're having sex, like how are you in the bed with a man or in the bed with a woman and you still can pick up your phone and be scrolling? It can't be that good. And with all of the sales of vibrators going up, it seems like women are extremely disappointed. And we talked about that disappointment. I mean, it's when you're disappointed by the lingam, it leaves you disappointed. And so, it seems like I don't feel like you can, if your energy is not in the right space, if your chakras are aligned. This is why I teach people this deep breathing techniques, everything. You should be orgasming, ladies, before the lingam even touches your sacred space. You should be on 25. And it's almost like hit it and quit it moments, toot it and boot it moments. I mean, and the songs get worse and worse that encourage it. And it just seems to be a never ending story. And people are really starving, in my opinion, for intimacy, and it just isn't happening because they're following after celebrity. And a lot of these things are even staged. They get together and they say, how can we get some more attention? I mean, God, it's exhausting to put so much of your life out there in a manner to which you need people. You're obsessed with people liking you and loving you. And I see all these people running to do these live videos, and, they're on there talking about nothing, just trying to, okay, I'm going to wait till some of y'all get in. I'm going to wait. Nobody's coming. Just go ahead and say, what are you talking about? One guy was talking about, come on, log in. And I said to myself, I was the only person watching. And I said to myself, well, who is he talking to? Log in. I'm here. I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes to log in. Yeah, let me know where you're from. Log in. And I was like, but the camera tells you that it's only me watching. And it was only me for his whole 10 minutes. And I just wanted to see if he was someone that I wanted on the show. And by the fact that he never stopped saying log in, I didn't want him. Because I don't care.
Log in.
Yeah, log in. Come on, tell me where you're from. Y'all hurry up and get this. Log in now. Log in. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'm already here. And if you have one, you have the multitude. So just go ahead and say what you need to say. Because I could have shared it if it had been something, but it was nothing. And I was just like, wow, this is really amazing. But I've recognized that he was unable to put out his information because he wanted people on the feed. And whether I have people call in or not, I do my show because I know they're listening, because when I hang up, I get a million calls about it. It's like people can only talk now through text. Actually using their voice, what's that about? Pretty soon we'll have radio shows that are just text feeds, apparently, because
terrible.
People can't seem to utilize their voice to even speak now. And that's really absurd. So I can understand why we're not having proper relations. I can understand why we're not having intimacy. I can understand why we are so focused on what Blac Chyna does with her yoni and what, I don't see how Blac Chyna is celebrated, but Amber Rose is vilified. It's weird to me, like the people's opinion. Blac Chyna can show her yoni and everyone's like, yes. Amber Rose shows hers and everyone's like, no. It's so peculiar. If you like yoni, it doesn't matter who's it showing. It's like you like yoni. You can appreciate it. You can celebrate it. You can say, that's a beautiful yoni. That's a not so a beautiful yoni, but I appreciate it. I remember when they talked about, I hadn't seen it, but they talked about Gabourey Sidibe having a sex scene on, I believe it was Empire, and how people talked about how disgusting and gross she was because she's a plus size woman. like plus size women don't have intercourse. And I thought to myself, like, that's really weird, that she's a celebrity, but she does something and she doesn't look the right way, so she gets condemned for it. So I think that we just have a long way to go on this planet when it comes to sensuality and sexuality. What my guest talked about last week about the conversation, men and women not knowing how to communicate. And we're learning our communication from, like what he said, Antonio said, from pornography, Instagram, and Facebook. And as long as that goes on, the next generation under this, like my kids are so tech savvy and they want all the Snapchats and all that type of stuff. And it really bothers me because it seems like they're becoming obsessed with social media and what social media thinks. I don't want my son to learn about his lingam on social media. I don't want my daughter to learn about her yoni on social media. I also don't want my daughter to look at Blac Chyna and Amber Rose and think that that's what she needs to do to be liked. So it's okay if that's what she wanted to do, but if she feels like that's what she needed to do to be liked, this is a really sad state that we're in at this point in time. Early?
Depressing.
It's depressing.
Okay. I mean, and again, it goes back to how you raise your children, what they are taught at home. Everything starts at home. It's not up to the teacher. Don't leave it up to Facebook to raise your children.
Yeah, because, I haven't heard about, they were talking about Blac Chyna's mother, too. I don't know who she is, but her name is something to do with Tokyo. And I was like, really? I was like, do the Chinese people know that this is happening? But, they were saying that her mother is a hustler, and it's cool. I get it. If you only got a few years to get your hustle game up, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, this is how people get upset when they get called that term, a has-been or a D-list. And, you really shouldn't live your life for this type of attention, because then when you're doing something like crying about your nipple being put out by your boyfriend, you look hypocritical. And so with that, people, this is grown folks' business. I don't know how you all feel about it. I only had one caller tonight discuss it. And as I said, no, do not inbox me tonight. I'm going out of town. I got some things to handle.
And
so I won't
and for heaven's sake, don't send nude pictures to anybody that's going to put them on social media.
Well, if anyone sends me any more nudes via my inbox, I think I'm going to have to post them on Facebook. I don't think that's revenge porn, but I think it's really inappropriate to do things like that. I don't want those types of pictures, people, so you don't need to send them to me. As a sexual wellness coach, I desire that you are well sexually. I don't desire that you are sending me pornographic images and things like that. I don't find things like that beneficial for my life or funny. I do like to know the hot topics that are going on. So if you have something that's peculiar, you can send it to Sierra Torres on Facebook, TORRES, or on SierraTorres.com. I got another caller here right before we're getting ready to go up there. He said people like to text more than talking because they are having problems processing their emotions. That's very good, caller. I can see that. But one way to process your emotions is through opening your throat chakra, which means using your lips. And so that's definitely, I can see that as being a problem in our society currently. Yes, people do have a lot of blockages in their heart chakra, in their throat chakra, in their sacral chakra. People are really operating mostly from their solar plexus, from their power center. And when that depletes, you have a lot of problems. That's when you go into kidney failure and all those types of things. And so we'll talk about that at a later date. Early, and tell the people how to reach out to you, please.
You can reach me at 423-803-900. Oh, my bad. 9007. 423-803-9007.
See, she got so much going on, she forgot her own phone number.
Hey.
And also at that's at Beauty of Ra Spiritual, where she is. You go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and get all your spiritual wellness from Miss Early, your botanicals and all that. I tell you, I go at least once a month and load up, and I love it. And so you can reach me once again on SierraTorres.com. That's SierraTorres.com. You can subscribe, and I'll send you nice little things to your email. Not a whole lot, because I'm not into getting them people's nerves and things like that. But this is Grown Folks Business, and we'll see you next week. We love you. Bye-bye.
I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks, lost in silhouettes of your heartaches. I can show you better, babe. I can show you better, babe.